Hi there, chaplaincy friends. Our month of February's theme is Love Thy Neighbor. So to honor that theme, we will be making some dog toys, which we will be donating to a community organization that can benefit from them. Love thy neighbor, love thy community, love thyself. So to make the dog toy craft, you should have some instructions and you should also have 2 different sets of fabric. In this video, we will be working on our square knot dog toy. So you'll need your smaller bundle of fabric and you'll also need page 2 of your instructions. Our instructions come with some written instructions and some visual help as well. Before we get started on this one, because it's a little tricky, I want everyone to take a moment to read over their instructions completely. So take a moment to do that and then we can get started. Now that we've completely read over our instructions, we know where to begin. So we'll start by laying out our 4 pieces of fabric on top of each other, flat on the table. And we are going to secure the 4 pieces of fabric together by making an overhand knot. You want to leave about 4 or 5 inches at the top above the knot to make a little tassel. It's just like that. And you want to make sure you pull your knot super tight to secure it. So there you go. Go ahead and make your knot. If you're still unsure on how to make the overhand knot, page 1 of the instructions has a little diagram that shows you how. So go ahead and knot your 4 pieces of fabric. Now that we've got our 4 pieces of fabric knotted together, we're going to lay it flat out on the table and we're going to pull our fabric apart to make a cross. So pull 1 piece of fabric in each direction and you should have all your fabric laid out just like that, flat on the table. Once you've got all your fabric laid out, you're going to take your top strip and you're going to fold it towards the bottom on the right side of your cross. And you're going to take your bottom strip and fold it towards the top on the left side of your cross. After you folded the top and the bottom, this is how it should look. It should look like an N. Just like in your instructions, make sure you fold it the right way, not the wrong way. So just like that. Then we're going to take our strip on the right. We're going to fold it over the tops of the first strip and through the little area in the second strip. Just like that. So now our pieces of fabric should look just like this on our table. Now we're going to take our left strip and we're going to put it over the first strip and underneath the second strip. So our fabric should now look just like this on our table. We have all the fabric pulled through each other. We want to pull it tight to secure it, but we want to start by pulling it super slow. If you pull it too fast, it'll just turn into a messy knot. So pull it super slow until it's all secured together. Once it's all secured together, you should see a little checkerboard pattern. So go ahead and pull it tight and slow. If you've pulled it nice, slow, and tight, it should look just like that. You should have 4 knots all coming together. Make sure it's tight and secure. But again, make sure you're taking it slow as you pull it, or else you'll end up with this messy knot and have to restart. So now that we've got a knot formed, we're going to lay that back down. Once again, we'll repeat the steps we just did. So we'll separate all the fabric and then we'll fold it just like we did with our first knot. So once again, fold the top towards the bottom over the right side, fold the bottom towards the top over the left side. We'll pull the right side over the first piece, through the second, and then we'll take the left side, we'll put it over the first piece, and once again, through or under the second one. Once again, our fabric should look something like this once we have it all pulled through each other. And now we are going to slowly pull it all together to secure it. So just like we did with the last one, we're going to slowly pull it together. We want it to be tight, but we don't want to pull it too fast or else we'll end up with this big messy knot. So just slowly pull it all together to secure it and you'll end up with that checkerboard pattern. Just like that, and make sure it's super tight. So for the rest of the dog rope, we're going to repeat those steps of laying it down flat, pulling all the pieces of fabric apart, and then once again, top towards the bottom, bottom towards the top, right towards the left, going over, and then under, left towards right, going over, under, and pulling tight to secure. We're going to repeat all of those steps, including the super tight knotting to get the checkerboard pattern, until our rope is just about done. So you want to leave about 5 inches of unknotted rope for a tassel at the bottom. So go ahead and repeat those steps and keep making those square knots until we get to the bottom of the rope. As you continue doing your square knots, your dog rope should start looking something like this if you're doing it correctly. So make sure that you're following the same steps over and over and always pulling the fabric in the same directions as you did. So if you used whatever color as the top and whatever color is the bottom, always make sure you use those colors in the same position. So keep working on that, making sure that slowly, tightly you're pulling your knots. If you find your dog toy starting to get a little bit big to work on the table, if you have your pattern down, you can try working on it in your lap, but make sure you're following the pattern correctly each time. You might notice that the more of your rope that you get done, the harder it will be to continue working on it. So just make sure that you're following the pattern correctly and it will work. So it'll be a lot harder to pull them through, but if you fold it correctly, it'll look like some form of checkerboard, and that's how you'll know you're doing it right. So I know I'm doing it right because all of my knots make it look like a checkerboard. So then I'm going to slowly pull that tight, just like I've been doing with all my earlier knots, and I'm going to continue that till I got 4 or 5 inches of fabric left. Once we have about 4 or 5 inches of fabric left over, we're going to secure our dog rope by tying another overhand knot on this end, just the same we did on that end. Make sure your overhand knot is secure, as you don't want it coming undone. Once we have a knot tied on both ends, we're finished our dog rope. We need to make sure that we return both of our dog toys that we made to the chaplaincy, because we're going to donate all the dog toys together to a community organization that can use it. I hope everyone had fun making their dog toys. Bye guys.